All right, well, welcome again to BlueVase Studios. My name is Michael Alden. Again, we're here in BlueVase Studios, and my next guest today is Angelo Zammit. He is a young entrepreneur. He has a business called East Coast Loyalty. I'm really excited to have him here because, again, he's one of the types of guys that I like to talk about. He's out there doing stuff. He's grinding away. He's building a business. He's making it work. So I'm really excited to have him here and talk to him just a little bit about some of the things that he's doing. His background, he's been in construction, he's been in modeling, he's been in music, he's doing all these different things. But right now, we're really talking about his online marketing company. He does a lot of online marketing and promotions, and we're going to show you at the end kind of how his business all works. But I'd like to welcome him, Angelo. Thanks for being my guest.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, so Angelo, I'm not sure if you've listened to some of my podcasts and some of my other videos before, but one of the things I like to ask people, I'll throw these on, by the way.
Thank you.
One of the things I like to ask people is how do you define success? And before you answer that, I think it's a very fluid thing. It's different for everybody. But how do you define success?
Success for me, that's a good question actually,
Sure.
because as for me, I think success is in the person.
Sure.
What do you define, as you stated, what do you define success being?
Right.
For me, it was just being comfortable. I never needed to be a millionaire to live like one. Do you know what I mean? I was just comfortable being comfortable.
Sure.
But at some point, I realized that sometimes money plays a big issue.
Sure.
And when I originally started this business, I didn't have any hopes or dreams of being anything other than average.
Right.
And then the more drive I put into it, the bigger I got. So I think success is behind the person.
Sure.
When you become satisfied.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. Success, and I say to people, success is how you define it.
Correct. Like, so what satisfies you as a person.
Whatever you want to be successful. I say to people, if you want that white picket fence and the nice house and the soccer mom and the caravan, and that's great. But if you want the millions of dollars, that's also it's whatever you want, right?
And that takes more work. So it's what you're comfortable doing and what you're satisfied with.
Sure. Now you've been involved in several different industries, but right now with this business that you're starting right now, what has been kind of your biggest professional obstacle up until this point, and how did you overcome it? Because I think that's what a lot of young entrepreneurs, when they get to this obstacle, they don't know what to do and they kind of give up. Obviously, I can tell from meeting you, you're not the type of guy that gives up. Tell me a little bit about a difficult time and how you overcame it.
You actually hit that nail right on the head. Wow. I had a lot of obstacles in my way. I mean, even considering where I grew up from, where I came from, I came from a very, the projects.
Sure.
So,
I'm with you, man. I grew up in the projects as well.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned that, because I did a little background check on you myself,
Sure.
So I wanted to know who I was in. So at the end of the day, I had to come through that first. And it goes one of two ways. You look at the negatives and the positives. You can either choose to go with that, or choose to go against that and say, this is what I'm not going to become.
Right.
That was the hardest thing for me to get out of.
Right.
And, once I hit a certain level, I realized that it's hard to be good.
Sure.
It's easy to be bad. Is that true?
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay,
sure.
So it's easy to do bad things, right? But it's hard to be good.
Right. Especially now, again, because I grew up probably pretty much the same way you did.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up in that environment, it's a lot easier, like you said, to go. You see people making money. You see people dealing drugs. It's easy to go that route.
True.
Right. And it's a lot harder to keep your head above water.
Yes.
And sometimes people fall in and come out and back and forth. And look, I wasn't the best kid when I was growing up. It happens.
I'm sure people make mistakes, and it's learning from those mistakes. I was never perfect.
Right.
Today, I'm not perfect.
Right.
And I think guidance had a lot to do with it.
Sure.
And I didn't realize that until I actually lost my dad.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me. It's like, you need to become a man.
Sure.
Either you're going to do something with your life, or you're going to just lose.
Yeah.
And once I got into this, again, coming from my background, it was hard to adapt.
Right.
It was hard to adapt to the people who worked every day of their lives. It was hard to adapt to the people who had structure. Do you understand?
Sure.
So I'm sitting here communicating. Now, I'm not dealing with customers.
Right.
I'm dealing with business owners. Myself, I'm a B2B company.
Right.
So as I'm working with these other businesses, I was intimidated at first.
Sure.
I didn't know if they were going to judge me, if they were
Right.
gonna, if my swag was a little different,
Right.
my mannerisms were a lot different.
We are in Massachusetts, so we both have accents.
And that's true, and we're aggressive, Mike.
Right.
We're very aggressive.
Right.
When we want something, we want it, and we're gonna go for it. So I was scared. I was scared coming into this, Mike.
Right.
And for the judgment part.
Sure.
That was the hardest obstacle for me to get over. And once I got over that, 99.9% of my success comes from communication.
Sure.
So I have to continuously communicate with these people.
Right.
Otherwise, I can't do my job.
So your biggest obstacle, it sounds like, is your own self.
That's
trying to convince yourself that you are worthy.
That I belong here.
That you do belong here.
Yes,
and success can come to you.
Yes.
And you're right, because a lot of people are, people hear about the fear of failure.
Yes, true.
But a lot of people are actually are afraid of success.
I am.
A lot of people are.
I am.
Yeah.
But I'll admit that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll admit that. I don't want to be.
Why?
I don't know.
Because you're afraid you're going to fall, probably.
The truth is, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I've been a disappointment for so long, you know what I mean? And at this point, I'm no longer.
Right.
People look at me different. People respect me different. So it's like, and I've come so far, I don't want to let people down.
Sure.
They expect me, imagine this, okay? You're putting your trust in me. You're a small business to medium-sized business. You're on a completely different level at this point, but at some point you started somewhere.
Started somewhere,
in the basement,
of course. Right.
You know, with two phones,
Right.
you know, in your mother's basement.
Right.
So at that point, I'm dealing with these people, and I'm responsible for bringing them in the money they need to keep their, put their kids through college, to keep their business up and going, to keep their vendors happy. They depend on me for those things, and that scares me sometimes because I don't want to fail them.
Right.
If I fail them, I don't ever. Here's the point. I don't ever want them to get to their budget.
Right.
Look at their lights, look at their vendors, and cut East Coast loyalty.
Right.
When you look at me, you're going to see the ROI, the return on investment I'm bringing you. You're never going to cut East Coast loyalty out of your budget.
I agree. I don't think fear is a bad thing. I think fear is actually a good thing. I think it's a good motivator as well.
Agreed.
That's that's great. I like the answer.
Thank you.
Now, traditional education. The last guy that I interviewed a little while ago, he had his master's degree. I have my Juris Doctorate, and I've met a lot of people that are super successful that have had all these degrees, and then guys that haven't had all these degrees. What's your take on it? Do you need college? Do you need higher education to be successful? What do you think?
All right, Mr. Alden, you hit me. Okay. I'm going to speak for myself.
Sure. Well, that's all I want you to do.
I was expelled from high school.
Okay.
Think about that.
Yeah.
But
listen, like we talked about, that's okay because I think a lot of people out there that are just like you and me, right? That have maybe just barely made it out of the projects, that are actually trying to do good things, and that's okay. That we all fuck up, and that's okay.
And I think the thing is, Mike, I'm very honest.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the people.
Right. I don't want you to.
They're asking me questions. I'm not going to sit here.
All right. So again, what's your take?
So my take on that is, I believe that education comes within the person. Like high school for me was fun.
Right.
I had friends. I played sports.
Right.
Now, did I learn things? Yeah, when I paid attention to detail, but we didn't do that too much.
Right.
And again, I was expelled. I never went to college, so I'm not a college graduate.
Right.
I don't even have an associate's. I don't have nothing.
Right.
So I don't know if that plays a big role on a person's success. I think that if you have the will and the desire to excel in life, you'll do the research to find out what it takes to get there.
Right.
And it's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if I do 10. I know people who went to college and don't even use their degree.
Right.
Okay, they work at a telephone answering service.
Right.
So it happens. But for me, no, I don't think traditional. I think it's important.
Sure.
I would never encourage anybody to not obviously continue. I mean, I wish I did go to school.
Right.
And I wish I did finish.
Sure.
But I had and that was another obstacle in my way. See, so there you go.
All right. Now, your business is primarily an online business, so I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What is your most effective form of marketing right now for your business? Like, what's working?
Mobile.
Is it okay?
Mobile. Number one marketing tool in the world, and in fact, it's catching up. People are so used to traditional advertising.
Sure.
TV, newspapers, things of that nature. But the problem with that is that you're not reaching customers in real time.
Right.
So I'm depending on you to be sitting in your couch at 3:00 p.m. Watching my commercial. True.
Right.
When I can get into your pocket at any given time of the moment with a simple text to join campaign or a simple, we call them blasts. Okay. What they are promotions, deals, incentives, and offers that we text to you.
Right.
On, it could be it could be right now, 7 in the morning. You call me on the phone, a small business owner meeting.
Right.
They say, hey, listen, I need a message to go out. It's a slow day.
Sure.
BOGO, buy one, get one free today only.
Right.
We put that call to action in there, that today only, because we don't want you coming in tomorrow. We wanted you yesterday.
Right.
We need you now.
Right.
So that's the power.
So right now, mobile is where it's
It's
at.
the bottom line.
Yeah.
And in fact, I don't quote me on this, but In 2017, I believe they're estimated to spend about $10 billion on text message marketing alone.
Yeah, no, that's probably right.
I mean, it's over.
Yeah.
Soon there'll be commercials on your phone.
Right,
You'll be
right.
getting text messages for commercials.
Right.
Why waste your dollars? At least if you're giving me $500 a month, let's say,
Right.
which it's not even going to be close, but I'm saying,
right.
you know that every dollar you spend on your marketing is going to somebody who either shops, eats, whatever,
Right.
at your particular
So with
store.
your mobile marketing, you're able to target the demographic that you're trying to go after.
And we habits.
Right.
I focus on customers' habits.
Right.
I can break it down. We group them.
Right.
We don't necessarily send everybody the same text message offer because
Right.
everybody's different. We treat
Right.
everybody with the white collar treatment, but
Sure.
everybody's different, Mike.
Right.
If you're coming into my place 5 times a month, well, then I don't really need to focus so hard on getting you in. You're
they're
loyal.
coming anyway.
You're coming anyway.
Right.
We focus on the low level priority people,
Right.
and we know they're coming, the
Right.
low level.
Right.
The medium and the high priority, we
Right.
give them better incentives and deals to come
Right.
on in more
Right.
often. So we group them. Nobody's going to get the same message.
We'll have to talk to you outside of this about the whole mobile thing.
Yes.
Love
to help.
So obviously you're in shape, so
Thank you.
I asked the other gentleman before, I meditate, I exercise, I do a lot of different things as well. What do you do to handle stress outside of the business?
Truth is, if I didn't have my fiance, Ami Pincholi, my business partner,
Right.
honestly, I don't think I'd even be here, Mike.
Right.
And that's the truth, because again, she's my stress relief. Sometimes I don't stop.
Right.
I'm a lot like you
Yeah.
and my friend Steve Paris.
Right.
I'm a lot like you guys
Right.
to the point where I don't know how to stop.
Right.
I become obsessed.
Right.
It's bad. No,
Right.
I don't know if it's
So
a
she
good-
brings you down?
So she's like, family time. Women do this, though.
Right.
I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah.
Women want their family time.
Right.
And that's the thing. She's like, business is business.
Right.
When you're home, I want that computer shut down. No
Right.
building websites.
Right.
No marketing. You're home.
Right.
And I have to take, I listen.
Right.
Happy wife, happy life. So
Sure.
that's what I try to do. I try to listen. But that's what, and music. Music's my big thing. I do music when I need to let
Okay.
things out of me.
All right. I like that.
Thank you.
I have this sentence here. I want you to finish it, and then and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
If my company lacks blank,
Yeah.
then we will not succeed.
Communication.
Communication.
If I lack communication with my merchants, which are customers of mine, but we call them merchants, as you know.
Sure.
If I lack communication with them, then there's no way I can do my job. I can't send out a text message with a promotion for you and you don't know about it.
Right.
I can't do that. I'm not authorized to do that.
Right.
So if I require you call me at least once a month or send me at least one email a month
Right.
with these promotions to run on specific days, because I have automated engagement.
Sure.
You can send me all the broadcasts you want to send out on the first of the month, and I can make sure they go out on a specific time,
Sure.
specific date, every month from this point forward.
Right.
I
Okay.
just need communication.
I like
Simple.
that.
Simple answer.
What advice would you give to young people that are in the workforce right now, whether they are an entrepreneur or whether they're working? What's a pearl of wisdom that you would give them right now in order to be successful?
Go for your dreams.
Okay.
Period. Don't let anybody ever tell you can't, because people who say you can't themselves. They don't have faith in themselves. I was
Sure.
told I couldn't do it my entire life, Mike.
Right.
My entire life, I'd said I'd never make it. I'd never make it to Hollywood. I was
Right.
on multiple shows. I was just on the Steve Harvey show November 4th. I
Yeah.
mean, people said I couldn't do that. I did that. They
Right.
said I would never come out with an album. I did that.
Right.
I'd never be an international model. I was
Right.
modeling internationally for 5 years.
Yeah.
So just whatever you believe in, Mike.
Right.
You go for it, and
Right.
don't let anybody ever tell you. That's the only thing I could ever say to somebody.
Right.
People will always
Just go
try to
for it.
go for it.
Right.
And if you lose, guess what? Try something different.
Right.
I mean, things I tried right before I found my niche.
At least you went for it, right?
I went for it, and I
Right.
failed. I'm not going to say I didn't fail.
Sure.
I failed. I fell on my face. I'm
Right.
sure we all have.
Everyone does.
But you pick yourself up, you
Right.
dust yourself off, and you keep it moving. You say, okay, there's another day tomorrow. I'm
Right.
still breathing. I got to
Right.
fight.
I love it.
That's
I love
it.
What can you give again for the entrepreneur again, or the young person that's in the workforce right now, other than what you just gave, which was great? Maybe a secret strategy or tip or technique that you're doing right now that could pretty much help anybody.
Integration.
Integration. What do you mean by that?
Okay, integration meaning integrate. Let's go to web development, for instance,
Sure.
because that's a good point.
Sure.
Integrate. The more you have, if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, you want to get your name out there, the more social media you're on, the more online presence you have, the more engage with people,
Sure.
the more you incorporate those things, like, as far as SEO optimization,
Okay.
Make sure that everything you do, you brand
Sure.
yourself. And the only way to do that is to be on as many platforms as possible to get your name out there and to
Sure.
engage with the public and the people.
Integration.
Make them like you. Integrate your, and when I say integration, for an example, so people may understand, is I build a website, I integrate Facebook, Yelp, Google Plus, all that, it's right directly on your website.
Sure.
So when people log onto your website, for instance, they'll see, whoa, I can share this right off your website.
Right.
It's bang, it's that simple. Now they're sharing it, and everybody in their stream's going to see it. They may like you, and it's just a never-ending.
So you're able to do almost everything with
On
really
one
one
platform.
click in one platform.
And on
right.
top of that, you have access to a dashboard we provide you where you can upload your own pictures and things of that nature and engage with customers. Track it. We track your competition.
Right. Sure.
I can track it. I can find out what your competition's doing around you within a 100-mile radius.
Oh, that's great.
It's amazing what we can do.
Again,
Technology.
I think again I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
In this day and age, what do you think the best form of communication is? You mentioned communication before. You said it's important. What do you think the best form is?
The best form is personal. I think that you need to. I think tradition. That's the
Face-to-face?
only traditional thing. Word of mouth.
Right.
I think face to face people like you. I've always heard about you, Mike.
Yeah.
I've heard wonderful things about you. But now I'm sitting in front of
Thank
you.
you.
No, I have. That's true. And I'm sitting in front of you, and,
Right.
and you make me feel comfortable. You're a good
Good.
guy. I'm happy I got to meet you for once. I've known about you for so many years, and
well,
I never
thanks.
got to meet you. But it's a pleasure.
Right.
And I think that now that I know you and I'm face to face with you, I can say, hey, your appearance, your
Right.
mannerisms. It's like, wow. I trust this guy.
Right.
He made me feel, I think a bond.
And you can't get that maybe
you
on
can't
the
get that over
phone or
mobile.
text message.
No, you can't. But
Right.
you can make a message personalized
Right.
to specific people, but you
Right.
can't get that bond. You can't
Right.
shake their hand.
So for growing your
look them in the eyes.
business, which is, like you said, mobile optimization and websites, for growing your business to get a new client, the best form is really kind of
Walking
face-to-face.
in, knocking
Right.
the doors, banging them down one
Right.
by one.
Right.
One merchant at a time. That's what I do.
I love it.
Yep.
One last thing for you. If you could leave our viewers and our listeners with, again, one tidbit of business advice, and you've already given some great stuff. I don't know what else you could give, but what else could you give to our viewers and listeners that really could help take them to the next level?
I'm going to have to say, to the next level. Okay, I think that when I found something I like to do, I picked too many things. I did like 10 things at once.
Sure.
I wanted to do everything at once.
Right.
I think if you focus on one
Right.
thing and say,
I
I'm
like
going to
that.
do this, I'm going to go for just this, and you learn, but you have to know what you're doing.
Sure.
You can't just say, I'm gonna make headphones and not know
Right.
how to pull bass, how to pull treble, how
Sure.
to do pan, left, right.
Right.
You have to know everything you're doing about that one specific genre.
Right.
And you go for it. So, like, I always tell people, when I go into a person, a merchant, and we're talking, I
Right.
go, you're a pizza. You own a pizza shop, right?
Right.
They'll say yes. I say, well, you're the best at making pizza. That's why I don't make it at home. I come to your restaurant to eat pizza.
Right.
Why? Because I'm not good at it.
Right.
Let me do the marketing.
Right.
I'm great at that.
You focus
do-
on the pizza.
You do the pizza. Let me do my job, do the
Right.
marketing, and we will be successful together. But I focus
Yeah.
on one thing, Mike, and that's what makes me so successful.
I love it. I love
think.
it. Folks, we are here today talking with Angelo Zammit, that's how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Of East Coast Loyalty, and his website is eastcoastloyalty.com. We're going to just do something a little bit actually different with him than we did with our last, John King was the last guy that we just interviewed. East Coast Loyalty. Tell me about your product. What is it? How does it work? And kind of show our viewers. For your listeners, we're going to try and make it so that you can understand while we're listening.
It's actually very simple.
Tell me a little bit about East Coast Loyalty and how it works.
Okay, when you walk into CVS, okay, and you become part of their loyalty program.
Sure.
What do they require you to do? Fill out paperwork. You have to carry their key card around. Every time you go in, you got to present. You have 10,000 keychains, right?
Sure, right.
With loyalty program cards.
Right.
And
then they print out a receipt that's
The
like
receipt-
25 pages long.
Exactly.
I won't even give them my loyalty card because I can't
Because
stand
you
it.
can't find them.
Rite Aid, by the way, has figured it out. They do it instantly. But anyway,
And you're right. Well,
Right.
well, they had to put a lot of dollars into that.
Yeah.
But we had to find a way, Mike, to make sure that small to medium-sized businesses could utilize that platform
Right.
at a cost-effective manner.
Right.
So what we did was we eliminated.
So these are like mom and pop stores that don't have the
Yep.
type of resources that CVS and Rite Aid and all these
Well,
other places.
we're national.
Right, okay,
We were just
right.
ranked 731 on the.
But I
Fast
mean,
Food
is this
Company.
like as far as
But-
the people that use it?
Yes,
Right, right.
but no, corporate uses it too.
Right,
But we
okay.
like to focus on the small mom and pop
Right.
because corporate levels are different.
Okay.
Different strokes for different. But we wanted to eliminate the key cards. We wanted to eliminate, no apps to download, no cards to carry. We
Right.
wanted you to walk in and be able to join our loyalty program within 7 seconds.
Okay.
And not hold the line up and get out of the way and never lose your rewards.
Right.
You've
So
earned
can I
those.
just grab this right here? So this,
Absolutely.
this is something right here. I'm just going to hold this up right
Yep.
here. This will hold.
Thank
This
you.
is something right here that would sit on can,
At the
I don't know
point
if
of sale.
Everyone can see this. This is something that would sit on the point of sale on someone's counter.
Counter right beside the cash register.
Okay, so someone walks into a store and they see this sitting on the counter. What happens next?
They simply put your cell phone over. Your cell
Okay.
phone in. You put your
I'm
cell
gonna
phone.
put it in.
Yep.
Hopefully people can't see this, but they probably will. All right. So
Call Mr. Alden.
all right. So the number's in.
So you got to confirm your number.
So continue.
Yep.
Okay. So folks, for those of you
That's
that
an
are
upsell.
listening, I just entered my telephone number.
This is an upsell offer. You don't want it. No, thank you.
Okay, so it gave me an offer for some sort of body wrap. Okay.
Now that was your reward. That was your incentive to join today. So you buy a single visit and get 150% off today.
Okay.
So you're gonna use that.
So this is assuming that I'm in a store right now.
Correct.
Basically.
Assuming you're in a store.
Okay.
A tanning salon, by the way.
Tanning salon. Okay.
So go ahead. You can use it.
So go ahead. I click on use. So it says. So just so you know, it says buy a single visit and get 50% off today. So this is assuming I'm in a tanning salon, which I do sometimes before a shoot. It makes me look skinnier. Yeah. All right. So use.
And
okay.
the clerk. The cashier will validate it, so I'll validate it for him. It's Facebook integration, like I said, so they integrated on Facebook.
So there's a there's a Facebook app here, so that if I wanted to, I could click on it. Obviously, share it on Facebook. Again, for those of you, it seems very, very simple. I'm not the most tech savvy guy in the world.
Very simple.
So it says, congratulations, you've earned a buy a single visit and get 50% off today only. Only 4 more check-ins until you have earned another 20% off of bottled lotion. So that sounds like it's going to try and get sell. You have maybe buy
Upsell.
something else.
Yep.
All right.
So like on Facebook.
Like on Facebook.
And then done.
And then
that's
done.
It. You just join it. But that would if we were to do it, you'd be done.
Okay, so I walk into this is Sunkissed tanning looks like. So I walk into Sunkissed tanning, and this is there, and I enter my number in every single time.
Now you
have my information.
I own you.
So you own me.
I own
you. He owns me.
I own you now.
So now I will probably get a text message that's going to ask me to opt in, I'm guessing, right?
No, you already opted in.
I already opted in.
You already have text messages on your phone right now.
So, and then from here on out, I'll get text messages with different offers and things like that.
Yes,
with it's great.
It's actually amazing. And then on top of that, there's an in-house loyalty program. So every time you check in, you're earning rewards as well.
Right.
So this is one.
Yeah.
And then we also give you incentives outside the store.
So from the back end side of things, I think I don't mean to cut you off. So on the back end side of things, so Sunkissed Tanning, they hire your company, they're sitting on their counter, they type in the information, and then you work with them, you communicate with them like you talked about on what sort of offers they want to do,
Correct.
and then you take care of the rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you hire East Coast Loyalty,
right.
Everybody else will sell you a loyalty program, and then you got to operate it.
Right.
Again, that goes back to you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You're a pizza maker.
Right.
When you hire East Coast Loyalty, you hire a team of over 350 people.
Right.
That's what you're getting. You're getting knowledge for the past 10 years. We do this.
Right.
This is what we do.
Hey, you know what? I think it's a great product. Check it out. Again, it's kind of the way of the future, folks. Again, the name of the company is East Coast Loyalty. I'm here with Angelo Zammit. You can go to eastcoastloyalty.com to learn a little bit more about it. Angelo, I really want to thank you for being my guest. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people that have kind of grown up like me. And
yes, thank you. So you are as well.
Continued success, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, cool.